lies and deceit. If not for the coming of IPOB, of Radio Biafra, all of you would have lived and died in the ignorance that Ojukwu caused a war. That's what they were writing. Britain helped them to write it. Ojukwu was a rebel, a secessionist, because we had no media. That is why they're paying Facebook billions upon billions of US dollars to stop this truth from coming out. Did Ojukwu cause any war? Gowon is alive, go and ask him. Did Ojukwu cause any war? Ojukwu went and negotiated restructuring with you in Aburi. You came back, Britain told you not to agree because Britain realized that all the component units of Britain knows that if you go back to regionalism, you will have economic growth. The country will do very well. But Britain doesn't want it. That was why they even instigated the Nzogbu coup, so-called Nzogbu coup, saying they will bring Awolowo to become the head of state. They knew what was going to happen. They wanted to truncate the economic miracle of Dr. Michael Opara. What I'm telling you are fast. Go and investigate for yourself. In the East, you had the fastest growing economy in the whole world, over 40% every year. In the West, Awolowo was performing his own miracle as well. Even in the North, Ahmadu Bello and Tafawa Balewa were doing very well. You had all those massive industries in the North. You even had Alamajiris that were employed in the North, meaningfully employed, gainfully employed. They were all doing very well. Britain said, no, for us to control these people, we need to impoverish them. Let us introduce this war. There was a coup by Nzogbu. And after that, there was the massacre of, as usual, massacre of our people in the North. Ojukwu said, I have to secure my land and my people. They said, no, let's go to Aburi to discuss it. Ojukwu went to Aburi and agreed, restructuring. That's something now you're asking for. To tell you how foolish Nigerians are. They're very foolish. That same nonsense you're asking for now was discussed many years ago. Ojukwu sat down in Aburi with Gowon and decided that regionalism was the best way forward, restructuring, going back to who you were, 1963 Constitution, 1960-1963 Constitution. Be on your own and pay tax to the central government, as they have in America, as they have even in Britain. Britain, you have Scotland that is almost independent, Wales, the same thing, everybody is free, but Britain doesn't want the same thing they're enjoying to happen in Nigeria. Why? Ask yourself that question. Anybody telling you about one Nigeria is your enemy. I'll prove it to you now. Ojukwu negotiated devolution, regionalism. The North will be on their own, the West on their own, even Midwest on their own, and then the East on their own. It's the same one Nigeria. On their way to the airport, before they boarded the aircraft, a call came from Lagos, from the British High Commissioner in Lagos to Gowon, telling Gowon not to agree. After having signed the agreement, that same Gowon you're looking at today, God kept me alive so that he can witness the destruction he will bring upon that very zoo called Nigeria. Gowon said no. Do you know all the journalists in Nigeria, none of them have ever gone to Gowon to ask him, why did he say no to Aburi? Aburi was restructuring. None of those agitating for restructuring right now has ever gone to Gowon or gone to Nigeria to say, but Ojukwu negotiated restructuring. What happened? They came back and they said no. Ojukwu said, okay, so you want to continue to kill my people all over the place? No. Because of that, I'll declare Biafra. Today, they have brainwashed all of you with the perverse notion and thinking that somehow Ojukwu is responsible for causing a war, when opposite is the case. If not now, that after many years of hammering on this very topic, it has now sunk into the skull of the people that Gowon was the aggressor, not Ojukwu. That's how Nigeria is, always blaming the victim. And we lost over 5 million people during that very genocidal war. They killed over 5 million Biafrans. They wanted to wipe us away from the face of this very earth. But we survived it, and we are here today. Those they gave birth to, they have come. And this time with a wrath that you cannot even begin to imagine. And Biafra must come. It must come.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you and I welcome you to this program. While you are joining, share this video, invite others to join. While you are joining us, share the video, invite other people to join. I greet you according to your time zone and welcome to this program. We're going to be quick. We're not going to take much of your time, but we are here. We are supposed to come online a few days, but we've been extremely busy. So, of course, we know what exactly is actually going on. So the breaking news, they come, they go, just like the breaking news of those trying to make the land of Biafra to be, bringing all manner of evil and atrocious act in the land of Biafra, so that we will look as if we are on the equal yoke as the land of Zamfara, as the land of Meduguri, as the land of Castina, where terrorists is ravaging and destroying everything that moves there. Of course, you can see the mass burial all the time about the terrorist activities in the northern Nigeria, and you look around you, you come back to the eastern Nigeria, you find out that they are actually trying all their best to make sure there is no peace in that region of Nigeria. And I can categorically tell you it is done by the elite. So many of us are so naive, so many of us are so gullible, so many of us believe that the violence in the southeast is going to be the reason for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. But the violence in the southeast leaders, they are actually in denial of it. Because if they don't understand the violence in the southeastern Nigeria, if they don't understand where it is coming from, it means that they are not even worthy to stand in the position of people electing them into the position of power. Talk more of first citizen of a state, or representatives in the House of Assembly or a House of Representatives. They are not worthy to be there. Because as our land is being engulfed by insecurity, you can also understand that every insecurity in every land, if it lasts more than 3 months, it means the government is aware of such insecurity and they are the ones breeding such insecurity. And I can categorically tell you that the insecurity you see in our land, it is actually politically motivated. Of course, you have heard Hope Uzodinma said it several times, even though he is saying it just for him not to be included, for him to be, he wants to be proactive in deceiving, the members of the public. That's what Hope Uzodinma does. You heard him said it. He said it does not mean he does not understand it, because he is actually the primary element that is causing the insecurity in Biafra land. Hope Uzodinma. After Hope Uzodinma, he will come out and say that it is politically contrived. Who are the politicians? Hope Uzodinma is the politician. There were other politicians during the time of Hope, during that time now, that are actually breeding these criminals that you see ravaging Biafra land. I want some of you to understand that in Nigeria, the allocation that come, into your land, or in Nigeria, you should understand that the return that comes from your state determine how much you are going to be, placed in the middle or in the epicenter of, allocation for civilization and growth. The return that comes from your state, tax or whatever dividends that comes out of your state as a state governor, as a state to the federal level, or to the federal or to the center rather, determines how much you are actually going to, be represented. Now, let me now tell you one thing you don't understand in Nigeria and the insecurity engulfing Biafra land. Because the most important thing you will see, if you look at the money for economic, is it for infrastructure growth or economic, whatever that they shared a few days ago, where the Hausa man or the Fulani man was crying foul and the Fulani man was crying marginalization, you saw the reason why they gave Lagos lion's share, the reason why it would seem justifiable for Lagos to receive lion's share, because what is coming out of Lagos, because too many businesses that is established by different part of the people from different geopolitical zone, from different geographical locations, generate more dividends for the federal government in Lagos. So therefore, in a situation whereby there is a money that is meant for investment or development, they will channel their energy towards that path that generates more income for the government. Don't get it wrong. Hold on, just follow up. Now, if they are actually getting more dividends from Lagos State, they are bound to invest more in Lagos State. Now, let me now tell you what exactly is happening in Biafra land. What is happening in Biafra land is that the crippling of the economy of Biafra people, to make sure that anytime you complain that your land is not developed, they will justify it by telling you that you are not bringing dividends like Lagos State. That is the reason why, for them to make sure it is justifiable, they have to create this insecurity. Insecurity is now becoming, it is becoming a normal thing in Biafra land. Because when there is insecurity, when there is all this sit at home, when there is all this declaration from somebody that doesn't exist in their village, when there is a declaration from such people, you will find out that it truncates the economic, growth and the, dividend returns coming out of the Biafra land, which is actually going to justify the marginalization and giving some part of Nigeria, other than Biafra land, the lion's share of money that is meant for growth and economic development. So now you will understand that you are being deprived of that. So why do you think that the government or in the center will care about the insecurity that is engulfing the Nigeria, Eastern Nigeria? Because the government of the center are well aware that this is actually what we have wanted. We do not want anything that will allocate funds into this, political, part of Nigeria. Because the plan is to make sure that they cripple every economic growth that is at least still coming out of Nigeria, now that you are still one Nigeria. Because There is no denial of it. You are still in Nigeria. So as long as you are still in Nigeria, Nigeria is bound, is obligated, or is bound rather, to make sure that they serve every geopolitical zone that is found within her space. So they must allocate funds. They must take care of this political zone. They must make sure that they divide the national cake for everybody to get it equally. But the truth of the matter is, they are bringing the insecurity. They are flaring the insecurity to make sure that the allocation that will come to you will be cut into 3 pieces and give you 1. And they will remind you, in the past 3 years, you are not generating any dividends from Nigeria because of your insecurity. They will call it your insecurity, but if you look deep into it, you will understand that that insecurity, it is actually being pushed and promoted by these same people who are depriving you of what you deserve. Now, if you look at the Monday sit at home, what pushed the Monday sit at home? It was because they, forcefully and illegally, kidnapped Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and renditioned him back to Nigeria, and they placed him in a solitary confinement. When the DOS issued this sit at home in 2021, the first thing that these people did is that they actually used that sit at home as a weapon. Just like they will always use everything that is good as a weapon. Just like you can remember in 2020 NSAS protest, what they did was to factionalize the protest, the process of the protest, and made sure that they brought hoodlums to make, the name of the protest bad, that the protest will not go down to revolution, and if it goes down to revolution, all these political leaders, all of them will no longer be in the position of power, because all of them will be running helter-skelter, that the youth may actually find a way to take back the power that belongs to them, that they have never ever tasted before. So for them to assuage that from happening, they made sure they factionalized. They created a faction that is going to be running as if they are protesting for NSAS. And at the end of the day, what they did was they became, they started destroying things in Nigeria so that the government will say this is now criminality. This is no longer protest. So that is the same thing they are doing. Anything that is going to bear good fruit, they will find a way to factionalize it. So ever since we introduced sit at home in the year 2021, once, as Mazen Nnamdi Kanu ordered for the sit at home to be cancelled because he wanted Biafra land to be calm. Now, the enemy decided that they have to make sure that it is a stronghold for them, so that they will say it is the same IPOP sit at home that some people are actually enforcing. From there, then it has actually caused a lot of damages, a lot of insecurity and all that. But the most important thing that we know is that the government is behind all the insecurity happening in Biafra land prior to 2021, when they rendition Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, because the plan was that we will rendition Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, we will make sure we destroy all these people that he gave gun in order to protect their land. We will make sure we law them out. We will make sure we make them criminals. We will make sure we turn them to be terrorists in that region. Because now, when the shepherd is no longer there, the ship is bound to scatter. So that was the plan. And that is exactly the reason why they made sure that they remove Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and they place agent provocateur, faction of whatever Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did. They are actually bringing the faction of it, created the faction of it. And this faction is destructive because now the faction will be destructive. And they will, once you talk about this faction, they tell you this faction is doing the same thing Nnamdi Kanu did. That is exactly the reason for creating these people you see constituting nuisance all over the place in the name that they are calling for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Double-edged sword that they are using. The second part of it is they are actually now preparing the criminal agent provocateur in order to make sure that because of course they know that the next court can discharge and release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They know very well because the judges in that next court have told them that there is nothing to found, to navigate within this case because of the area of jurisdiction. That is the reason why they have to bring up, different tactics. They have to come up with different element of criminality. They have to now revive the, dead bones that we have sent to Abyss. They had to revive them and bring them back to constitute nuisance, which they are known for. That is the reason why I have been telling you, you cannot trust any politician in Biafra land. You can never trust any politician in Biafra land. Be he who, come what may. These guys you see, they are running for their stomach, not for the people. No matter what they are doing, it is all about what makes them, their pocket big. They might, you might find out that they are speaking with you or standing with you today. But believe you me, maybe they are standing with you because there is something they want to benefit. All this insecurity, they are aware of these insecurities. They are well aware of it. How it began recently, Enugu State Governor made, a pronouncement. Enugu State Governor, came up and started making some statement about sit at home. Instead of him keeping quiet and fight the insecurity in his land, he came and make a public announcement, which was the same thing that happened in Anambra State when Soludo came to make the same pronouncement. If you are following and understanding this, the way these things are working, whenever they come up, they make one announcement, the insecurity now exacerbate. Now, when the exacerbation of the insecurity now give credence to the terrorists in Finland. That is exactly what is happening. Whenever the insecurity exacerbate in any part of Biafra land, now it gives more credence to the people who are actually being used in the media space to make a pronouncement which they know that they do not have mostly the capability of handling. That is exactly what you see. They are making sure that this time around, this guy came out. It is to prepare him. So many of you are you don't understand the game. They are now preparing him to see if eventually they release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, if they will use this guy to continue to confuse and divide the unification of Biafra. That is exactly what they are doing. They want to use this guy. They want to make use of this guy, so that when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu comes out, it will look like the young man did everything. The young man answered terrorists. The young man did, and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu come out and turn his back on him. They want to use him to actually attribute, boogeyman to the character of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. So that, of course, this is a reverse psychology. But the same Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, don't forget that he told you he wants Biafra land to be calm. Because when eventually he comes out and you find him actually turning his back on these, criminals, you should know that it is something you must expect, because the most important thing is that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu gave an instruction, command and control. I want Biafra land to be calm. The enemy decided that they will never let Biafra land to be calm, because if Biafra land is calm, that means there will be a lot of job for the Eastern Security Network. They will make sure that our bushes are protected, and they protect the people from criminality. So the job of the enemy is to make sure that they overwhelm the Eastern Security Network that protect the land from criminality and terrorism. Because the police is now even scared to fight insecurity, or they don't, they are not well equipped. Does police have vehicle? They are not actually well paid to fight this insecurity. They are sometimes like a scapegoat. That is the reason why police cannot fight insecurity. And that is the reason why they are so brutal when they come on the street, because they want to get money from ordinary people. They want to exploit people for them to actually have extra things in their pocket. Sometimes they kill you because of money, because they are not well equipped. They were given a gun, 19-old gun that can even lock while on duty. So these are the type of ammunitions that has been given to these security agencies to go out there. The anger of how Nigeria is treating them, they are now treating the citizens which they're supposed to be protecting. They make them their prey, and they make sure that they exploit them, kill them, intimidate them, so that when you see them, you dip hand deeper. You put your hands deeper into your pocket in order to, buy your pass from the police checkpoint. That is exactly what is going on in Nigeria, and you should understand that the job of Eastern Security Network is to keep Biafra land, peace or free from terrorism of any kind. And they've been doing that. Just like you will agree with me, or you have seen recently, the people that are the victim of terrorist attacks and victim of kidnapped. They were kidnapped. The same people were rescued by the Eastern Security Network. Of course, so many of you must have come across the video, and it is actually very, very imperative that we appreciate the Eastern Security Network wing, and appreciate the commanders of the Eastern Security Network that actually rescued the kidnapped victim. So it is very, very important for our people to understand that the Eastern Security Network are doing their job, the job that they are supposed to do, the job that they were assigned to do, and they are doing it regardless of the fight the enemy is throwing at them and everything that the enemy is throwing at them, trying to make sure that this Eastern Security Network is destroyed or divided. But the truth of the matter is that the Eastern Security Network are still up and running, doing their job, even though the enemy tried to bring, division amongst them. The enemy tried to turn them against that. The enemy tried all their best to make sure that the Eastern Security Network does not stand, because it is the greatest fear that Nigeria have. So, it is the boogeyman to Nigeria. Just like you will remember, immediately when Eastern Security Network was launched, Obasanjo could not help it. Obasanjo made the first statement. And that statement was not just a statement that is ordinary. He made that statement because they didn't see that coming. They couldn't believe it will happen, but it happened. Now they have to now use somebody to feed on the Eastern Security Network. They have to now use somebody to destroy, to divide, to distract, at the end of the day, to dismantle the formation of the Eastern Security Network. There comes this criminal syndicate organization called Autopilot. That's the reason why they did all they did to make sure that that those are the people that was used to destroy the formation of Eastern Security Network. But they found out that they have failed woefully, and they will continue to fail. It is very, very necessary for our people to know being emotional in freedom fighting is not going to take you anywhere. Being emotional. Because so many of you are very, very quite emotional. And because of your emotions, you don't understand you don't understand somebody who is being prepared. Who is being prepared to be the one that will divide Biafra struggle. To be the one that will challenge Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is the one they are preparing. But little did they know that this guy is nobody. The only thing that you don't understand is that as that now, Okemonwu puta, obodo abawaso, otimpo aneti, obodo buru meze I might not say it correctly, but you understand what I mean. The most important thing is that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not, he didn't force himself. He is there because he was chosen. He is not there because he decided. He is there because he is chosen. So, there is no force. Except if he decide that he will rebel against, the energy that chose him, then that's a different case scenario. But as long as he is still there, there is no force, there is no energy, there is nothing that will ever stand to challenge his, popularity or his love for the people or love of the people towards him. They will never challenge it. That is something that they do not know. They believe that they will be driving this agenda or doing all sort of rubbish because they have done all sort of rubbish. The thing now they are doing is playing politics. And if you can understand the type of politics they are playing right now, it is a very, very serious politics, trying all their best to bring, this guy to the limelight, trying all their best to make sure that this guy is known across Biafra land. That is exactly the reason why they have actually push the agenda of this recent, event that took place in Biafra land. And that recent event was to make sure that everyone speak. They have the time to tell him to speak. They have their time. It is actually a syndicate, well-organized syndicate that these people are running. Well-organized syndicate. Because it is true that I actually, saw the video of the people that was actually captured in Ebonyi State in the name that it is those criminals that was terrorizing Ebonyi State, that was shooting in a red regalia. And then I have actually been watching that video, watching it over and over again. I found out that there is some missing needles that, I need to actually find out about, I need to discover about this video, because the last time I checked, the Nigeria government, they are not actually, reactive. Then we are not talking about being proactive. Proactive is out of the picture. It is not, it is out of the conversation. They are not so reactive that they can capture criminals in that regard so quickly. Now, and there is something that guy said. The man that was actually the police, I believe the police guy,
operating the suspect.
I want you to watch this video. There is something I want you to pick up from this video. There was something the guy said here that I'm still struggling to understand. Just pay attention to the video. I don't know if you pay attention to it.
The command headquarters in Abakaliki, the state capital. The Commissioner of Police in the state, Faleo Olaleye, says his men apprehended 15 suspects, including a herbalist who prepares charm for the gunmen. The police had said it was on the heels of the hoodlums who attacked the Ohaku Police Division, burning down a patrol vehicle in the process, as well as the gunmen who invaded markets in Isheke and Okwachi environs in Abakaliki, shooting sporadically, leading to citizens scampering.
Now, number one, when you look at the video, the number of persons that was arrested and actually parading them as the gunmen that invaded Abakaliki Isheke, Ebonyi State Isheke, and bringing out these few red regalia in the name that it is the same people. Now, you look at the number of the people that is apprehended, and you look at those apprehended people, their faces are not shown. But when the EFCC suspect that somebody is doing Yahoo, when they take this person, they even give him a signboard, and they take picture, and the whole world sees the picture of this person. But in the regard of those who kill people, in the regard of those dangerous armed criminals, they could not even show their faces. Why aren't their faces being shown? Did they really apprehend the criminal, or they actually, organize these people just to be the part of the politics that is being played? Because if you look at what happens here, you will understand that these people look like the people that is organized in the name to be, as if the police is actually fighting the insecurity or fighting those syndicate or members of the syndicate that are on the ground terrorizing, the place. Because we have actually given them backlash that anywhere where these people are going, you will find no police vehicle there. You will find no police around. You will find no security agencies within that premises. So the backlash is actually what has motivated them to orchestrate this plan or come up with this plan in order to act like they have apprehended those people who came to the market, intimidated people. But, I've been looking for that missing needles, and I've discovered that there is something, about this. From the number of the criminals to this gadget that is right in front of you, this clothes right in front of you, you will check that this clothes, they were supposed to actually spray it, and so that we will see it is actually the clothes that these guys were wearing. But they just got, maybe red wrapper just like this, and they folded it, placed it there, and among other things, that is actually another thing that you need to look into. Then the number of the criminals, not showing the faces of these criminals, or, in the history of Nigeria agencies, once they apprehend any criminal from any part of Biafra land, they will present their faces, but this time around, they push their faces to the wall. Why is that? The element unidentified, the number of the criminals, the regalia that is folded, this raises a lot of questions. Are they really the criminals that they apprehended, or did they actually orchestrated this plan to deceive the members of the public? There is one more thing that I want you to pick up here in order to answer this question that I am asking you, because this thing you are going to pick up in the video is actually going to explain more on this. Pay attention.
For safety, no life is said to have been lost in both incidents.
On the 2nd, these people attacked my area commander team, burned our patrol vehicles. On 5th, they came, went to Isheke, went to Akaize, firing sporadically. Today, I want to tell you that 15 of them have been apprehended, even with their herbalist. You can see their the board. You can see the red clothes they were wearing that day. You can see all their paraphernalia. This also includes the women. They were preparing for another attack today when we carry out the strange operation and arrested them. I came in February. No single person who has given me information has come out that the information leaked and thereafter.
He came here February. No single person who has given him information, has ever been sold out. No single person who had given him information has ever been sold out. So, if you will listen to understand the logic there is that no single persons. So, for you to believe that there are people who gives them information, for you to believe that they worked according to information given to them, which is all the things that doesn't make sense to me. Information within the course of a day. Police took information. Police arrested more than, these people are more than 15 guys. Just information, more than 15 guys with information. Now, within this information, I believe the information can happen, but in Nigeria police, so quickly, they have arrested these guys. Not only that they have arrested them, they face them to the wall instead of making their faces available so that people will even see the criminals terrorizing them. Who are they protecting? Why are they protecting them if they are indeed the criminal that was, terrorizing Biafra land? Why are they protecting them? Because it means that they are protecting them so that in the situation whereby they are, after they have done acting their drama, they will free these people to go. Because if you see their faces, you will know, this is the criminal I saw in the TV. So now he is now on the street again. I have never seen criminals that is being paraded just like the way they are parading these people. pushing their faces on the wall. It does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. This is one of it. For you to understand that there is some, well-organized syndicate that is orchestrating all these treacherous activities of these guys in Biafra land. Politicians are well aware and well involved in this behavior. Because if you look at, there is an update, because the only thing that these people are trying to do, it is to make sure they destroy Biafra land. It is to make sure they reduce the population of the people in Biafra land. There is a news trending that the Chief of Armed Staff has handed down directive to his men to clamp down on Biafra agitators enforcing the sit-at-home orders. And they say Eberima in Finland making a living for himself and his family. The army said, now I want you to know that having seen such report, you will understand that report, it is actually using a reverse psychology there. When you look at this report, remember that they have to make Biafra land to be violent, not to be calm, so that the army will come in to start terrorizing Biafra land. Because it is always the plan of Hope Uzodinma. Please send us the army. Please, the federal government is not actually coming to the party. The federal government is not complying. The federal government need to actually give us more. They have done, something, but they need to do more. To do more is to send the army. It is always the primary request of Hope Uzodinma and co. Send us the army. Why are you now the chief security of your state that you cannot even deploy police, you cannot deploy military in your state? I thought there is a division of military divisions in every state. Then the chief security of the state cannot even deploy them. Now, what are you? Are you a governor or are you a ceremonial governor? Now, that is, by the way, it has been the culture of Nigeria, so I don't want to actually interrupt their culture, but the most important thing is that why is it that they are now planning on deploying military? Is there no police in Biafra land? And this military, we know the history of this military. The history of this military is that they go into Biafra land, they burn people's houses, they kill the young men, they destroy villages, bomb markets. This is the activities of this military. And now, who is actually calling for this military? This guy that is, living in Finland. And at the end of the day, he will create chaos. His home family member will not be part of those that is their houses are going to be burned. He never built a good house in Nigeria in order for him to know the pains and agony that their houses were burned feels. He never did that. He doesn't know the pain. So he has to do everything to make sure he impoverished the eastern region of Nigeria. Because now, allocation will not come there the way it's supposed to be coming, because it is economic sabotage in that area. They are actually high risk to allocate funds into that place. So, in this regard, it is all about economic, sabotage in Biafra land. That is exactly what they did. All these Igbo governors that might not be aware of what is going on, or those new governors that are coming into the position of power, if they haven't briefed you, you should now know that it is a group of cabals group of syndicate. If you look at the recent meeting that was held by the Southeast governors, that Hope Uzodimma was part of, Hope Uzodimma was calling for the rendition of Chinasa Nworu and Chike Doziem. Hope Uzodimma was suggesting the rendition of Chinasa Nworu and Chike Doziem. Are you not aware? They were suggesting it. Why is Hope Uzodimma suggesting the rendition of Chike Doziem and Chinasa Nworu when Hope Uzodimma is not hearing from Chike Doziem and Chinasa Nworu? The one he is hearing from was the man in Finland. Hope Uzodimma has never spoken or said anything in that regard. But Hope Uzodimma was suggesting for the leadership in the DOS to be apprehended. That's the suggestion of Hope Uzodimma. Instead of talking about the mess that they have caused, how they are going to actually solve it. This was before this shenanigan of sit at home that happened. This was before the shenanigan of this sit at home. That was the plan of Hope Uzodimma. All these things, you see them having meetings and talking and talking and talking and talking. It is all about, it is a drama. Some of them understand the dramas, while some of them are just, uninformed. Being among this syndicate that is propelling the insecurities that is happening across Nigeria. It is actually a syndicate, well organized. When government is involved, it is difficult to solve that syndicate. Of course, you have seen some Nigerians who were protesting. Some Nigerians protesting in the name that they are tired of the insecurity. Let me find out. Oh, it's not this one. As if they are so tired of the insecurity in Nigeria. But the case is not that they are tired of the insecurity in Nigeria. The case is that, there is politics. And now, you will tell me when these people started caring about Biafra land. Because you might be watching these things and you will actually be taking the understanding from somewhere else. But the way we actually understand it is actually different from the way you will do. Let me show you some video because I came across it. I hope I saved it. I hope I saved it. All right, let me bring it right in front of you instead of playing it on the phone. Let me show you this video. Video is downloading. Just one moment. I want to understand this video that is actually downloading. I want to understand exactly what that video is all about, because I understand it better when it is right in front of me and you. I understand it better. Let me play it here in order to get exactly the real picture of this video. The real reason why this video was made available. I think let me just play it from the phone because it takes long to upload. It has a lot of megabyte. This is a group of people. They are a group of people. The problem is I believe you must have come across this video. You must have come across this video. Let me increase the volume.
What is going on that we see is like a racist agenda. A country cannot harbor some people in their country and they'll be raising funds inside that country. A country cannot. Yes, we can hear. My name is Aki Okunowo, and we are Nigerians, and we are tired of what is going on in their south.
His name is Aki Okunowa. I believe it's a Yoruba name. It is a Yoruba name. Please confirm for me those who lived in Yoruba land. Confirm, to me. I believe that name is a Yoruba name, Aki Okunowa. The reason why I am looking at this video, I want you to understand that all these things that they are presenting right now, and I want you to know that these people did not just go. In my own understanding, I believe that these people did not just go to do this protest. They did not just go to do this protest. There is something that drives this protest. There is a motivation that drove this protest. Now, I want you to understand that it is part of politics that is being played in Nigeria. Even though this video and the people there, are against what is going on, they are against the enemy of Biafrans that are parading themselves that they are part of the freedom fighting that we are embarking upon. I want you to understand there is something about this video that if you watch it, you will know that there is a politically motivated rally that these people embarked upon. These people are all one Nigerianist. These people are all one Nigerianist, right? And what they are talking about, regardless of there are people who are playing Ogene behind him. People playing Ogene behind him. I believe that there is something about this video. This looked to me like the type of politics that Tinubu plays. I don't know why I feel like it is the type of politics that he plays. He is very good at playing this type of politics. Those who understand the guy man very well, if you understand the guy man very well, you will understand this is the type of politics that he plays. Because number one thing you need to recognize is that these guys that are in this rally, they are all one Nigerianist. They are all one Nigerianist. I am not actually being negative all the time, but I am being realistic of what is happening in Nigeria. Nigeria are very, very cunning. Nigeria politicians, they are very, very cunning. And the energies that is dealing with, with us Biafrans, this energy is very, very, it is very, very deceitful. So let us actually continue to watch this. Let's continue to watch this.
And we are Nigerians. My name is Aki Okunowo. And we are Nigerians. And we are tired of what is going on in the southeast. And we have decided to call our fellow Nigerian brothers to arise and save their lives. All what is happening is appalling. A country cannot, a relationship with Nigeria cannot be running a racist agenda. A situation where you gave citizenship to some members of this country to become your citizen, and you allow them, after they have become your own citizens, to be raising funds in your country and be buying weapons and sending it to Nigeria to terrorize Nigerians, to kill Nigerians, so that the disguise of sit at home is enough. And they are killing. And we realize if this thing continues in Igbo land, then it will spread to Yoruba land, then it will spread to Hausa land, then it will eat up this country. Enough is enough. This thing has to stop. Because what happened?
This is not about the insecurity in Biafra land. This is about neutralizing the agitation. It is about neutralizing the agitation. That's what I see here. I am telling you, because the reason why he mentioned from Igbo land to Yoruba land, because there is agitation already in Yoruba land. And if the agitation in Yoruba land, if they don't actually do something that is going to be work in favor of these Yoruba people, the agitation will come back. So that is exactly the reason why they want to make sure to assuage what is going to come out from the agitation in the eastern region, so that it does not spread again towards the Yoruba land. That is exactly what I am actually seeing here. That is what I am seeing here. Because there is no, how can the insecurity and sit at home in Biafra land spread to Yoruba land, when the insecurity in Biafra land never even spread to any other part? In eastern region, in the southeastern region, never even spread to the south. It is still in the southeastern region since 2021, because the plan is to actually cripple their economy. So how can it now spread to Yoruba land? How come? What is going to make it? Does it mean now that Igbo people are now Fulani terrorists, that they spread from north to the west, from west to the south? Is it exactly what they are insinuating? Because that is the reason why I tell you that this looks like the politics Tinubu plays. And the reason why they are bringing up all these things is because the court did not find anything to judge against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. It is just a time-wasted strategy that they have actually done. It is just to get to that time where they have given him, because the court has nothing to rule in that case. Appeal court has nothing, absolutely nothing, again, to rule towards the case that the same appeal court, the issued, or the verdict issued by the appeal court. They don't have anything to make that verdict or to go otherwise in that from that initially given verdict. So they have to now start bringing the element of this and that, so that it will look like all this element, there is peace in Nigeria. Even a Yoruba man is now speaking for the sake of Southeast. This is not the way you are going to conduct yourself in the name of uniting this one Nigeria. There is always something you need to understand, that when you cut a rope and join it, it will never be, enough again. Once you join it, it will never be long enough again. So that is exactly what is going on here. These guys are out there. They are acting like they are now so they care about Biafra land. The same person, the same people are the same people dealing with our people in the West. Now they are acting as if they care about Biafra land while fighting the agitation, because every of his word here is directed to the agitation. The agitation should not spread to the southwest. The agitation should only be in the southeast. Let us continue listening to it. Maybe you will understand and pick up what I have picked up.
Enough is enough. This thing has to stop. Because what happened is, you see, a responsible government will not give room for such a nonsense in their country. And when people come on social media, and they can confidently, before cameras, and be raising funds to buy weapons and send down here, and we see what they are using it to do. And you, that country, there was a time they had to interrogated Samuel Pap. We read it in the news that he was arrested and interrogated. What was it? Their findings and everything. And what are they hiding about? They are claiming they are no longer Nigerians. Then why are they doing that? You cannot allow them to be raising weapons there and be bringing it to be committing all this murder and be committing all these actions. We will not take it. The name of it is Peace. Peace Group. Yes.
Peace Group. The name of it is Peace Group. Hey, do you now understand what I am saying? The name of the organization is called the Peace Group. The Peace Group is the Peace Group of Tinubu. That is not how to make peace. Even if you want to try, that is not how to, it is not how to make peace. This is this is you insulting peace. You cannot make peace under false pretense. There is no peace under false pretense that will stand. Let me tell you the honest truth. The politics that these guys are playing, it is very, very dangerous, because number one thing you need to understand is that we are wise now. We are not those who believe that we know the carry last. We have discovered our mistakes, and we have realized that our mistake is born of emotions. We work on our emotions, then we come out to embark on, to join force to embark on this journey of self-determination. So we are no longer emotional in order to be dancing the music that Nigeria will be playing to us. There can never be peace. There can never be peace in Nigeria, because Nigeria is not created to have peace. Nigeria is created to exploit one another. Nigeria is created so that while we are busy fighting ourselves, oil theft, people will be enjoying your resources. They will be enjoying your resources. That is exactly what Nigeria is created for. Only oil you are talking about. Only oil. What about other resources that are in Nigeria? Now you will understand exactly what is going on. It is this type of Nigeria. It is Nigeria that might be one of the first countries that will be recolonized again, because they are insincere. Nigeria is insincere to herself, insincere to every other person, insincere to the people who dwell in it. They believe it is all about playing games. These games they are playing, it is bigger than them. It is not the game that is in comprehension of the people living in Nigeria in the name of politicians. They don't understand that the game they are playing is going to actually make them discontinue from their heritage. Because if you are to be recolonized again by Chinese, you will see the element of Chinese coming into Nigeria deep, not just into Nigeria, they're coming deep into Nigeria. Of course, you owe them money. They can even build their police station in Nigeria. Of course, you owe them money. There are minor resources in Nigeria. Chinese is now actually learning our language. Have you seen that? I saw that the other day. You know, I was amazed. Not amazed in a good way. I was actually troubled. I was troubled. Let me see if I will find that video of where Chinese. The reason why I am telling you this is because for you to understand what emotions can do to you. Emotion can make you to accept what you are supposed to reject and reject what you're supposed to accept. That is your emotion. Emotion is very, very dangerous in our lives. If we can be able to actually work on our emotion, keep it in check, believe you me, we will not be overrun by the activities of anybody's politics, be it Western politics, be it China, Asian politics, be it whichever politics. We will never succumb to their politics, but because of our emotions, we succumb to every politics that is being played, especially the Igbo politicians. They are so gullible. Igbo politicians, they are so gullible. That is the reason why when you see many things, you will not actually understand the game they are playing with you. You believe this is all about guy man thing. It is not about guy man. Emeteriana guy man. Emeteriana guy man. Rob Peter to pay Paul. If you want, whenever you feel like that you want to get profit something from your people, you bribe some of them, you actually act like you are working with them, but at the end of the day, what you will do is to give them middle finger. Once you get to your position, you give them middle finger, just like they will always do during the time of election campaign. They will act like they are with you. They will act like they are, they are doing anything to work in favor of you, without you knowing that these people are the real enemy that you are actually fighting to eliminate. The beast in human form. That's what they are. The beast that is in human form. You might not recognize. I am trying to bring this video. I don't know what's wrong with my downloads today. Still not here. Just one moment. Did you see this video? This is part of it. So many of you, when you see it, you will say, Igbo no they carry last. Chinese, they learn Igbo language. No, it is not about that. Remember that when the West they came, the global West, when they came, you know what they did? They came with theology. They came with theology, missionary. So, in this regard now, it looks like China is going to be coming with different, approach. So many of people in the world and in Africa now, even those who understood the politics of China, they are actually singing the song of China. I want you to know, in as much as we are trying to run away from imperialism, you should understand that for the world, for you to be the world power, you should control Africa. For you to be the world superpower or the powerhouse of the world, you must have full control of Africa and some part of Arabs and Asia. So, the most place that if you control that you become the world power, which China is fighting to become today, it is Africa. And so many African leaders today, you see them, it is all about Chinese loan. It is all about we going to China. Let us go to China and, get loan. After all, Chinese is better than the West. It is not all that Chinese is better than the West. This is everybody championing their agenda, doing runs on you, actually hustling on us, the Africans. You don't understand it. That is the reason why you saw the time the Chinese warship arrived in Nigeria. I told you this similar thing, that Chinese warship arriving in Nigeria, it is not anything, it is not something that we need to, worry about. But the question is, what is Nigeria placing on the table for the China? Absolutely nothing. But Nigerian, their hands are open to receive from China, and their hands are open to borrow from China, without actually making a fair, creating a fair atmosphere where everybody is going to stand to benefit. And you are not creating this, environment where it is going to be on equal ground for negotiation and business negotiation. They will not create such, because they love fiat money so much that it is all about, no, bring this loan and we will give you this. You don't know the arrangement you are making with these people. They are bringing a different approach. In as much as we are fighting imperialism, you should understand that the new way of colonialism is on the way. No, it is all about fiat money. It is all about the money that we are going to get from these countries. And you believe you can eat your cake, and at the end you have it. You can never eat your cake and still have it. It's either you eat it, swallow it, it's gone. The next thing you excrete it. But you can never eat it and still have it. You are placing yourself, very low, that they bring themselves very high above you. Who controls Africa becomes the world power. That is exactly the height that Chinese want to come in, because so many of our African leaders are very, very myopic. They are very, very emotional. They work with their emotions because they love so much fiat money. They don't understand that the resources is better than money. That is the reason why the BRICS countries are now creating a currency that is backed up by gold. It is all about the gold. The gold is the currency. Any nation that have more gold has more money. So that is exactly what is going on right now. And now, you African leaders, especially the leaders in Nigeria, are after the fiat money, instead of actually embracing their resources and negotiate equally in a level ground that it will benefit everybody. Nobody will look like they are beggar. Nobody will look like they are actually, authority. Everybody will have an equal, share and equal negotiation and equal profit. No. Rather, your resources, they will make you believe your resources is not worth it. But without your resources, they will not build car. Without your resources, they will not manufacture so many things. But your resources is not worth it. Rather, they will give you loan that will not even be equal to your resources. And tomorrow you will come and tell us, oh, a Chinese is bringing different approach. Those different approach. You never took a time to know me. You never took a time to understand. Now, sometimes the evil you know is better than the angel you are yet to receive. I am not saying that the evil you know, you should stay with them. When you get rid of the evil you know, make sure that you take a time to know the angel that you are yet to embrace. They are far, make sure you know their heart. Of course, we know the activities of this imperialist. We know their activities. We know what they can do. But do you know what the upcoming world power is worthy of doing, or is actually capable of doing? Are you aware of that? The answer is no. Why are we so emotional? Now watch this video. You'll find Chinese teaching, Chinese children are learning our language. Why is Chinese children learning our language? Does it mean that when they come to colonize you for the second time, they don't need to have interpreter? They will be colonizing you using your language. Direct. This is not about taking Bible and or scroll to go and translate it and write it and bring it back to us and teach us in their own way of understanding or in their own way of exploitation. This is about now. They will teach you, they will colonize you, talking to you, doing business with you in your language, so that you will understand exactly what is going on. Listen to Chinese. What will be the benefit of Chinese learning this language? Listen.
Watermelon fire. Today botata. Yesterday onyaho. Tomorrow. Kayi motiso ibo. Kombia. Debe. Watermelon fire. Today botata. Yesterday onyaho. Tomorrow.
Did you see that? That is something that, you need to understand what exactly is going on there. Why would they want to learn your language, specifically your language? We know we are very, very special people. But for somebody to want to learn about us special people, two things are involved. It is either to learn our language, to use it to manipulate us, because we are very emotional ones, especially when we see a foreign person speaking our language, or when we see maybe a white person speaking our language. We embrace them so much. We are so, we are so amazed. We are so surprised. We want to even, give them a hug. We want to give them a kiss. A white man is speaking our language. This white man. That is exactly maybe what they have discovered, the emotion behind you. How your emotion is actually drive whenever you find people that is of your clan speaking your language, then you let them in. So it could be part of it. It could be the reason why Chinese children now were learning our language. We are very special people. We know that. But two things involved. They're learning your language to use it to infiltrate you, or they're learning your language to make sure they use it to manipulate you because of your emotion that is never kept in check. Second colonialism is coming to Africa, but this one is going to come as a systematic colonialism. And before you know it, you are surrendered. It is not militarily surrendering. It is systematic surrendering. That's exactly what is going to happen. You are not industrialized. You don't have industries. You cannot manufacture anything. You cannot do anything. This is 25th century, fourth industrial revolution. None of you are ever benefiting. Rather, some of the countries in Africa are actually dependent on Europeans and the American capitalists to make sure they create employment for their people in their country, to bring industry to their nation. Without this, government that, participating in those things. Now, coming back to Nigeria. Nigeria is now embracing China. warship of China is coming. There is one man that finished drink Kai Kai who is telling, I give Tinubu ultimatum to remove the Chinese. I give Tinubu 24 hours to remove Chinese ship off Nigeria water. That man just finished drink Ogogoro, just come to talk rubbish. You know, the man is just Ogogoro drinker. I want to assure you, so that I know that some of you, they know you are so emotional. Once you hear something like that, you will be so, you will be so triggered. Destruction is coming. No. Those are people na Ogogoro, Ogogoro, Hamopta social media made video. He say his wife is from Nigeria. That's why he is scared. Those are people na Ogogoro. These people, whatever, anybody, people understand the emotion of your emotions. People understand how you think and how you reason. They are using it against you. That is the reason why you see these Yoruba people coming back to the real picture. This Yoruba guy who call himself peacekeeper or peace organization, playing Tinubu's politics, trying to use, one stone to kill two birds. In as much as that these politicians have placed this agent provocateur somewhere in the mainstream, they are now going to be, lashing at the agitation as if the agitation is the one causing the problem. That is exactly why they're telling you there are peace group. I don't see any peace here, because Nigeria is not known for peace. Everything that they are doing, it is the politics that they are playing, but we understand such politics very well, and then they will not actually quell the agitation. They will not actually, stop the agitation. They will continue to try. We know that they have created the faction in order to actually start speaking like this, in order to actually start creating a ladder to tell you we are climbing towards peace, when there is no peace, when there can never be peace, because they have never created an atmosphere that will bring peace. So all they do is to lie. All they do is to continue to lie. That is the reason why they featured this guy, to tell them anybody who is out there, they come and they raise fund. Let us actually finish listening to that guy. Let's just finish listening to the video before we proceed. I just extended the conversation and digressed.
And what are they hiding about? They are claiming they are no longer Nigerians. Then why are they doing that?
They are claiming.
You cannot allow them to be raising weapons there and be bringing it to be committing all this murder and be committing all these actions. We will not take it. The name of it is peace. Peace group. Yes. We are all Nigerians. But because this thing affects more of Igbo, that is why you have seen more Igbo rose up. So what is your position? My position is just very simple. No. Are you the convener? Are you the... Yes. You are the convener? Yes. Okay. And this is what we want. All those actors. Who have been raising Samuel Ekpa and the rest of them, who have been raising funds under the disguise of IPOB, under the disguise...
The reason why they have to call Simon Ekpa first, and they call the rest of them, we understand. Because he is the one that they need to use as a stepping stone, because they kept him there to use him to destroy the agitation. So they have to always mention him. They have to always use his name in order to quell the agitation. Listen very attentively.
Of ESN under the disguise of unknown government, and they have been bringing those weapons, smuggling it into Nigeria to commit all this evil. They should repatriate all of them down, because we Nigerians see that citizenship as a scam. So they should repatriate them here. We want them to go back to their villages and see what they have done before they face the law. It is the right of every human being to respect other people's feelings. They should respect we Nigerians. Finland should respect us. Any other country, including France, including USA, including UK, including Germany, where all these people are harboring themselves, and then they were coming online and preaching hate and causing a lot of damage, innocent lives, including children. All of them must face what they have caused. That is what we want. So, when we came here, we display all our whatever. We try to approach their door, and we saw the lockup, and then we can't break their door. We are law-abiding citizens, and we know that their territory here is just like Finland government in Nigeria. So that is why we held our peace. But a few times before you came, they sent one person, one of their security to us to talk to us that they want to speak with one person among us. And my team volunteered me to speak with them. But up to now, they are here to talk to us. Then another thing we hear, they said it tomorrow. Well, even if it is next tomorrow, we are occupying this place. And as this time goes on, we are calling on all Nigerians to come here. We are occupying here. We will be, the more they are wasting time, we will become millions here. So basically, you want them to repatriate them? They should repatriate them, and they should stop all this racist agenda. Stop allowing some Nigerians in your country to be raising weapons and be bringing it home. Not only ECPA. It's not only ECPA. There are other. Okay, well, we have a list of them. I cannot be calling all their names. Mm-hmm. So, and there are groups. They always meet on space meetings, and we all know all what they are doing. So, and you know, because this their criminal organization is not a one-man show. So they have those they have recruited. They recruited all these criminal elements, thug, armed robbers, rapists, kidnappers, and they were using them. So what we just want is, we want peace in our country. We want our family. We should be able to go to any part of this country and feel safe. We should be hearing good news in this country. And we want the new government to take action. What's your take on the prosecution of Kanu? Do you think it should be granted amnesty? Do you know what?
Amnesty.
Ina and the Kanu have preached killings. He has preached, he started all these things.
You see where it's going.
And it is very important that we should not give room for any criminality at all.
Look at the person who claimed. I didn't listen to this video. I just listened to the beginning. I didn't even know there is a place he talked about Nnamdi Kanu. But did you hear what this guy said? These are peace organization. The same peace organization is saying what is going to bring peace in the East, where he claimed he wanted security to stop. He is now telling you no. And remember that the person who is interviewing him asked him a particular question. Do you want Nnamdi Kanu to be granted amnesty? Hi, I want you to understand politics when you see them. This is pure politics. When you see it, you understand it the way they are playing it. Nnamdi Kanu that has been discharged and acquitted, that government of Nigeria is actually exploring to see if there is anything within the ambit of the law that will help them to still keep him in a solitary confinement, which they haven't found, and they can never find it. Now they are now talking about amnesty to somebody that the court of a competent jurisdiction has discharged and acquitted. What is amnesty? Amnesty is something you give to a criminal that the court can actually jail, that the court has found guilty, or criminals that, you have understood that their cry, in fact, amnesty is something you can give to a person just because maybe if you fight them, it brings more problem. If you arrest them, it brings more problem. You decide to call all of them, come and collect amnesty, just like they were given to Asare Dokubo and all these people. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not fighting Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not fighting anybody. He is fighting, terrorists. He is actually fighting for the sake of the freedom of his people. So, when you see them mentioning the Berima in Finland, you should know that that is the reason why he has to create what he's creating. So that in the situation like this, everybody will be painted with the same color of paint, with the same paintbrush. That is exactly the plan. And we understand this politics that these people are playing. It is a very dangerous politics. It is a very dangerous politics. We are not emotional fools. We understand what they are doing. Listen attentively. The peace committee, peace group who is telling you, the criminals who are telling you that the reason why they are criminals is because Nnamdi Kanu is in jail. Now, instead of you to say, now as a peace group, let them release Nnamdi Kanu to see if all this criminality will stop. He said, no, Nnamdi Kanu have preached killing. And we don't want any criminality anywhere. Is this not bunch of hypocrites? Hypocrite. And the other one is talking about amnesty. Journalist that does not know their go from their come. That is the reason why you find people like Asare Dokubo fighting Rufai. Because he has understood his go from his come. He has understood that journalist is about humanity. Journalist is about actually, doing something that will enable the community to thrive. Not doing something that will help you personally. So that is the reason why, as people like Asare Dokuban, it is people like this. Because all of them are in the same WhatsApp group. All these people, this guy and Asare Dokuban, they are in the same WhatsApp group. So, people like this, they will always, do the bidding of their master. Do you want Nnamdi Kanu to be granted amnesty? I don't even know how to place it for you to understand it, because this is actually laughable. A man that is free. Now government will now come and grant him amnesty. A man that you have tried in court of law. He defeated you in your court of law. Now you are talking about giving him amnesty. What the hell? What is amnesty? Amnesty is given to a person you don't want them to be tried in the court of law. Because court of law might find them guilty, and finding them guilty might actually bring more destruction towards the sovereignty of the country, or towards there might be economic sabotage in the country, just like the way they gave Asare Dokubo and them amnesty, because they are close to the pipeline. For them not to explode, blow up the pipelines. That's why they were granted amnesty. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they were not tried in the court, then grant amnesty. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is tried in the court, and he defeated them in their court. Now, who is still talking about amnesty? Those are incompetent journalists, uninformed journalists who do one-sided journalism. Those are very, very, those are very, very selfish set of people. They will never be objective in their reportage. That is exactly what you're hearing. Listen to this thing.
Nnamdi Kanu have preached killings. He has preached, he started all these things. And it is very important that we should not give room for any criminality at all. It
is all about Nnamdi Kanu. They started with the Ekperima.
So, Nnamdi Kanu started all this killing, started all these things. You cannot do all those things. Invite war into your land, raise weapons. They are the people who started raising weapons. So the truth is that all what he has done is criminal. It is criminal.
Peace Commission.
Terrorism.
Peace group.
So we are not interested in any evil act. We should be law abiding. There are ways to go about things without killing human.
You see this criminal that is talking rubbish here, bribed by the present APC administration. We know all of them. We know them. We know how they roll. We've been seeing that they are trying to water their ground, to kill the agitation. They will never succeed. Nnamdi Kanu is the man who actually exposed what is going on, has been going on in Nigeria. And all the exposition is now here to stay. This is the same person who is calling for the, the person causing insecurity in Nigeria, living in Finland, to be, to be repatriated. Now he is now telling you that the innocent man, Nnamdi Kanu, preached killing when the terrorist was ravaging. Why preaching killing? Is it because Nnamdi Kanu, told you that you shouldn't stand to be killed in 2020? You should defend yourself. It is only a tree that knows that they are going to be killed, and they stood there. Ask this Mokafon, young old man, ask him if he was there during NSAS protest, so that we will know whether he represents the people or he represents the APC. Because these are the representatives of APC. Those are the people when you are doing, these are the same group when you are doing protests in the US. They will wear green, white, green. Come and be doing counter protests. These are the criminals when you are doing protests that will help people in Nigeria. They are the faction that organize group of people to come out and disrupt that protest. This is the same type of people. That is the same job this guy is doing, because they are all APC agents. Tinubu, this is not how to water ground. This is not how to chase after fake peace. There is something I want to show you people. Of course, if you are, okay, let me put it this way. This guy, this old young man that is, saying this thing, peace group, you are calling for a nation to, to repatriate somebody who is committing criminal act, which everyone have seen he's committing criminal act. Now you are now calling an innocent man the court of competent jurisdiction has set free. You are calling him a criminal. Now, looking at it from the international, if you look at it from international community point of view, judging your utterances, because your utterances can incriminate you or save you. Judging on your utterances, do you think they will look at your utterances as, something that is objective or something that has, ability to nail someone? When you call innocent person criminal and call criminal criminal, so it means that they will be confused. Instead of calling a spade a spade, this is how they control and confuse the narratives. We understand. But they should continue playing their games. They should continue playing their games. All this rubbish they believe that this criminal is doing in Biafra land, when Biafra land is not the one holding Nnamdi Kanu. When ordinary people is not the ones holding Nnamdi Kanu. Market women, they are not the one holding him. It is the politicians holding him. Be it Igbo politicians, be it Abuja politicians, it is the politicians holding him. They are not targeted. It is the local people that are targeted. People who are on the receiving end of the injustice being meted on our people. In Nigerians, they are the ones actually targeted. And somebody is coming out there to talk rubbish, confusing the narrative. All they do is to make sure that we are seen as the author of confusion. We are not confused. We know what we want. And that is the reason why there can never be peace in Nigeria. Because there are a bunch of hypocrites living in Nigeria who call themselves APC affiliated. Just like you see Femi Fani-Kayode, political harlot. He said that IPOB has become his problem. Femi Fani-Kayode, of course, there is nobody who will take him serious. Anybody knows that he is a joke. Femi Fani-Kayode is a joke. Anybody who have their thinking capability intact will understand that the man is invalid. The brain, he does not actually come up the way people supposed to come up, because he does not have shame. He does not have shame. It was the same man who abused APC. It was the same man who said that Tinubu is a criminal. He was the same man who abused Tinubu in all ramifications. Next video I'm going to do, I'm going to bring all those videos that we are going to face him. But this time around, I want to face the present stuff that is at hand. No matter what they want to do, just because Tinubu is in a position of power, let them continue to do. He will not be more than Buhari and their imposter. No, it is still under APC. The more they decide to bring politics, the more we are actually closer to exiting Nigeria. The more they are bringing their brutality, the more we are closer to exiting Nigeria. That is one thing they don't understand. The more they are creating their agent provocateur, their faction, the more we are so close to exiting Nigeria. The United States knows exactly, they know quite well that we are not the aggressors. They know it is just because of some, things they are benefiting from Nigeria and all this, crude oil that they are taking from Nigeria. It is actually the reason why they are staying mute. But they know, they have it in their archives. They know very well what brought us to this stage where we are. Now listen to this video. I want you to see something very important. There is a man whom is talking about oil theft. He was actually interviewed about oil theft in Nigeria. There is something I want you to pick up from that angle as well. If you are watching on YouTube, click the like button, share the video. Share the video and invite others to join. If you are watching on Facebook, continue to share and like the video. There is something I want to show you right now. Pay attention. Let's go to this video. I want you to see how this APC supporters, how they roll. Let me show you how they roll. APC supporters. I want you to see, I know you are probably familiar with this. Are you familiar with this?
Henderson voiced his concern over the safety of its members and threatened to strike.
Okay, not this one. I want you to see. This is the first one. I want to show you the previous one. Which one? Listen to this video.
Or sometimes others had it. Edo said so. It is not. I don't think so. It's good.
This man is the man who claimed before that he is aware of the oil theft in Nigeria. That he is aware of the oil theft in Nigeria. This is this man that I am bringing to you. Listen to him very attentively. Listen to him very attentively so that you will understand exactly how they try to promote, how they promote the administration that is actually presently in the position of power. And all their effort is all about protecting this administration, advocating that this administration is doing so great so that you will forget everything they have done in the past. So that is exactly the reason why. But we have bottled everything they have done. We have the records, and we will continue, to put it out there. There is a question that was asked. I want you to listen to this guy. What he said.
I was just watching, Arise. What you saw, how some of these sheep apprehended. These are some of the sheep. But the most, pathetic fact is that how are they able to put all this together? So that is the surprising part of it. But I believe the Nigerians, patriotic Nigerians, should rise up and stand up to support this government, because their own strategy is not the way you want it to be. They have their own strategy to combat this menace. And it's reducing. Let me also tell you, because the fear of the unknown has kicked in. So people are afraid that, there's a new sheriff in town. He has started. Nigerians are good.
I know the reason why. What prompted this interview was of course, so many of you are aware of the vessel that actually, that was burnt, vessel that was set alight or set ablaze recently because it was caught stealing oil, or vessel that steals oil from Nigeria. Now, what exactly is the message when you see a vessel that steals oil from Nigeria? Instead of you apprehending such vessel and make sure you understand exactly where this vessel come from, make sure you understand under whose name this vessel is registered, you will understand exactly make inquiries and investigation with regards to such vessel. You know what Nigeria did? They set it alight. When you set it alight, it means that you have destroyed all the evidence that you could gather to know where this vessel come from, to know where it is going, to know who it is registered, to see the number, to see the name. You set it alight as if Nigeria is industrialized nation that is able to manufacture such vessel. They set it alight. Is that a good impression? And I saw they set it alight immediately when it was captured. It is not a good investigation process. It is not a good investigation process. It is like now a known plane. You see a plane that they are using to steal gold in Zamfara. You see a plane that is being used to transport the stolen goods and the illegal minings in Zamfara. You know what you will do? You just see the plane. Instead of showing us, the background, making sure you take every information within this aeroplane, then the plane, you just set it alight without the proper investigation being done, without taking the number of all this registration and all that, without doing forensic analysis on such vessel. You set it alight. Now listen to what this guy is saying. That vessel that I saw there that was set alight, I'm still telling you, it doesn't look to me as a vessel that was stealing. I don't know what it was, but for them to set it alight, there is something behind it. You can't just set a vessel alight. Let's listen to this guy.
I go to see what they have not seen before with what I know today, because he's angry. He's not happy with what is going on in Nigeria. Our resources.
He's talking about Tinubu.
Take it from this country to a global destination, and when you fight corruption fight back at you. Look at the way he tackled the issue, where some of the marketers and the cabal wanted to derail the wheel of progress. But He had to stand his ground. So let's be patient. And at the end of the day, Nigeria will be proud that we have a president that's willing to put Nigeria first.
Okay, those ships you say that
information. Hold on.
Those ships you said are leaving Nigeria that you saw in Lumos, are they illegal ships or legal ships? So that maybe we can tell Tantita to look for them now. Those ships that are leaving that you saw, when was the ship?
Let me tell you, you just saw one. I was just watching, Arise, what you all saw, how some of these ships apprehended. These are some of the ships.
Some.
The most, pathetic fact is that how are they able to put all this together? So that is the surprising part of it. But I believe the Nigerians, patriotic Nigerians, to rise up and stand up to support this government because their own strategy.
He is being asked about fuel oil theft. He is telling patriotic Nigeria to rise up and support this government. He asked him those ships that he saw leaving, that he should tell them the information so that they will call for people to go and apprehend such ship. You know what they ask? He is now changing the story. He is now changing the story. Support this government. He's telling you about supporting the government instead of discussing what exactly is the business of the day. Are you here to advertise for the government that is already in the position? Why are you telling us to support the government that is already in position? If people voted for this government, why can't they support the government they voted for? Why do you need to motivate people to support the government they voted for? So, they are asking about the oil theft in Nigeria. He is now advocating for the support for the government. He asked him again. There are more questions that he asked him. Let's just pay attention.
This government, because their own strategy is not the way you want it to be. They have their own strategy to combat this menace. And it's reducing. Let me also tell you, because the fear of the unknown has kicked in. So people are afraid that, there's a new sheriff in town. Like before, this is what I was told by the Lumos. They used to have rabbi, like sheep leaving the shore as if there's no tomorrow. But right now, it is reduced to the barest minimum. A lot of people are afraid that the new sheriff in town is going to deal with them squarely. And those at least apprehended will face the wrath of the law. Because over the years, people apprehended, what did you do to them? They go scot-free. But until there's repercussion, when you...
Over the years, people were apprehended. What did you do to them? You leave them to go scot-free. Let us see until clicks in, whether it is during the time of the imposter or during the time of Buhari, Tinubu.
Still, government's property, what belongs to Nigerian people, then you must face the wrath of the law. Because until we obey the rule of law in this country, we will begin to always continue to just speak and speak and speak without result. Is this the time to all the media outfit to join hands? Let's look forward how we can change the narratives.
Honorable Agbenayema, let's talk about your gubernatorial ambition.
Yeah, Dr. Bati.
2024 governorship election in Edo State. You will meet.
He is running for governorship election in Edo State. That is the reason why. Remember that these governors, they are actually selected to be placed in front. They are selected to be placed in front. Those who are going to be the ones that are going to be in the forefront, that are going to get support. They are selected. So he has to say whatever he wants to say because he wants to be governor also at all cost. He has been working with he has worked in Nigeria. He is a politician in Nigeria also. Very, very, he was occupying a position of was it code of conduct bureau. He was occupying the position of code of conduct in the code of conduct bureau. So his name is Ehiozuwa Abo Nayimma. So he want to be the governor of Edo State. That is the reason why he is singing the praises of the president. Even though instead of answering the question that he was asked to answer, he is beating around the bush, telling us to support president. When you are asked a question, where are those people you say you saw, so that they will send the proper enforcement to go and catch them. He now changed the topic because he don't want to say he saw. For you to know that oil theft in Nigeria can never be resolved. As long as you are one Nigeria, it will never be resolved because they are also benefiting from it somehow. Or the people who place them in the position of leadership are the same people who are doing this oil theft. So they have to capture and act 1 or 2 movies for you to think it is happening. Most important thing is that the reason why they are giving this Niger Delta like Asare Dokubo contract, most of the time maybe it is for them to just relax. For them to relax and keep quiet so that these things will be taking place. I am telling you the honest truth. If you look at the way this man is behaved, he was asked about this. He changed the position. Let's support the administration. There is a new sheriff in town. What is it related to the question you are asked? Now pay attention, you will see more other questions that is going to be asked and how he answered them.
24 governorship election in Edo State. You've been meeting with stakeholders. Are you in this? Like seriously? Yeah. Or you are a placeholder for some other people? And what exactly do you have for the people of Edo State? Some of the statements that I've seen, you've been talking about women. You want to be governor to address women issues? Or do you have some other things in stock for the people of Edo State? Tell us how that is going.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Abati. You know me over the years. We've been friends for a long time. I always stand for what I believe in. If I mention women, yes, they are very important. At least it was a woman that brought it to this world. But apart from that, the youth, the leaders, they are all, part of in moving the state forward. You have to involve everyone, sons and daughters, home and abroad. It takes a village to raise a child. It also takes a village to make Edo State a better place. And it is possible, it is achievable, it is doable. If only all of us collectively put our heads together. If being a governor or hoping that only the governor can solve the problem of Edo State, no, I don't think so. It's going to require a collective effort of every Edo sons and daughters, home and abroad, to put Edo State right and place Edo State among the best states in Nigeria. And I am capable to do just that. I'm not saying that the women are the only one. Yes, our traditional institution, our teachers, our traders, our market women, our artisans. I'm talking about artisans. You have people who are bricklayers,
Don't worry, another question, very vital question is coming from Rufai. I just want him to finish so that you will understand the reason why he is actually, preaching the gospel of the administration.
Who are just carpenters. But those people also employ, engage others. And it's going to take every one of us to do the right thing. And I believe, for me, I'm a team player. It's about team effort, working together, working as if there's no tomorrow. Because if we don't do something now, the future will judge us. So it's about time we rise up without being partisan.
Without being partisan.
Shenanigans. Let us not play ethnicity.
Without being partisan. Hey, without being partisan. Okay, we rise up without being partisan. Thank you. But he is the one being partisan here. rise up without being partisan, because your party is in the position of power now. So he's telling you, don't be partisan. Now our party is here. Support our party. It's all about it. Listen to the question from Rufai.
There is no play ethnicity. In Edo State, we have 5 major, ethnic groups. We have the Edos, the Benins, all ones, Asia, Afemai, Akwedo. But guess what? All of them have the origin from Benin City. We're all one family. One family. That if we think about the future of our state, the way it is right now, we need a total change, total rehabilitation. And I believe, by the grace of God, with Almighty, our ancestors, God will place me to serve and to help to put Edo State in the right perspective. And I believe I can achieve that. I can do that with the grace of God. By the grace of God.
Thank you, Honorable. And talking about collaboration, you've gone to seek the support of the
Let me increase. Let me move it a bit.
We reverent to him, Edo Central. Guess what? When the road is constructed, whether you are from Edo Central, Edo South, you apply that road and get the benefit. If an hospital is built, you will also enjoy the benefit. If you have good educational system, you will also have the opportunity to enjoy it. If we have good transportation system, you will be glad that Edo State is working. So it is not only for Edo South, Edo out. They should even aspire again at somebody. What move, be sponsor. I
want that question to start afresh.
Okay, Mr. Godiwa, a lot of people watching are saying, are we being serious here? What about Edo Central? That the last time Edo Central had somebody was, our famous professor of Bendel State then. And now, what are we having? I think even the last time, get instant online insurance.
Yes. One moment. It looks like I went off. I mistakenly went off by. Yeah.
Mr. Godiwa, a lot of people watching are saying, are we being serious here? What about Edo Central? That the last time Edo Central had somebody was, our famous professor of Bendel State then. And now, what are we having? I think even the last time Edo Central had somebody was Professor Sumbo. That's just it. Edo not producer, that was Shiomole. Ambrose Ali, the last time Edo Central had a full tenure, I even know how that was truncated. Then Professor Sumbo, that was truncated again a couple of months. So are you saying people from Edo Central don't even have a part in all of this? Is it that we have just even left? We are saying Edo is one now, it's so easy to say. But what about Edo Central people, the SR people? Secondly, let's also talk about your empirical economic plan for Edo State. That's the second question. But the role of Edo Central and all of this is that they are not even, they shouldn't even aspire again. Because the North has had it, the South has had it. Edo Central has not been there in a while. Professor Sumbo, since the last time the court took him out, and since the days of Ambrose Ali. So is that how to bring justice and fairness to Edo?
Rufai, politics is about numbers. Politics is about majority. Politics is percent majority. And at the end of the day, you are mentioning that. I'm trying to tell you.
Listen.
Why did you have to mention that?
Listen.
Did you say I'm a Nigerian, I'm an African? Why should you play?
So why did you mention? Why did you mention that your mother is from Edo Central? Why did you have to mention that your mother is from Edo Central?
I'm mentioning that. I'm trying to tell you to let you know that Edo State we are one. That's the reason why I'm telling you this. Okay. Let us not with sentiment and begin to play to the gallery.
Honorable.
I am saying this without fear of favor. I am standing for Edo State.
Honorable.
I am standing for Edo State. I work for Comrade Aga for the development, for the enhancement of this great nation. As a person, I have done that, Dr. Abati. And you can attest to that over the years. You have also congratulated me on many occasions, what I have done. This is not about, me. It's about our people. If I'm given an opportunity to serve, I'm only going there to go and serve. It's a service. And that's what I'm doing in the Code of Conduct Bureau. What I'm doing in the Code of Conduct Bureau, there are those who are APC members that we have been, we have brought the book. They are PDP. There are those who belong to other political members. But the issue remains, one Nigeria. We have taken an oath to uphold, to defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended in 1999. I cannot do anything other than that, but to follow the rule of law, to support the government, to do my part. That's what I have done. That's why I took it upon myself. If from this country to a global destination, and when you fight corruption, corruption fight back at you. Look at the way he tackled the issue, where some of the marketers and the cabal wanted to derail the wheel of progress, but he had to stand his ground. So let's be patient, and at the end of the day, Nigeria will be proud that way. Yes. And I want you all to join hands with the current government, because I believe heads are going to roll with what I know that Mr. President wants to do. He's ready to break the barrier and break that cabal. It's a serious cabal, because if not, they will always try to derail the wheel of his progress, and they will fail. Because knowing the past antecedent of our president as a governor and as a leader of repute, and is a good leader who understands the scope and of trying to solve the problem of the nation. And all those that are putting things in place, we have a new president, maybe doesn't know what is happening, doesn't know what is on the ground, but I can tell you, with the security reports over that I know, I have so much confidence on this president that he will break the back of those. I don't want to resort them, because I wanted to use a very profound word, because it made me sick. It is unacceptable. It is pathetic. It is saddening what is happening to Nigerian people. What some few cabal have turned this country to be like.
Okay, Mr. Gbodoyiwa. You came last to the show, and you had a lot of data as regards how ships were taking products out. And you have some more data about these people that form this cabal, like you say. Can you avail us some of the data? Can you tell us those people based on the research you've done? And you said you also looked at Lumos's portal, probably when you were in America, and you saw vessels. What kind of vessels were those vessels? Were they illegal vessels leaving? And is it that this Tantita security group has not done enough, that vessels are still leaving, or the people are just so powerful? You have so much data. Because I remember you said if you release the data, the country will shake. Who are those people? Talk to me.
What answer?
Well, the good news is, let me say, good morning, Rufai. I want to say that, I work for the government up to today. I'm the Federal Commissioner Code of Conduct.
What's the topic?
When you are doing investigation, it is not for to just put things in the public domain. But I can tell you that the current president is aware, is privileged to all the information that is going on. Just be patient. So you're going to be surprised what he's going to do. I am confident.
So you want to
I am confident.
Hang on a minute. You want to confirm to me that President Tinubu knows the cabal that perpetrates crude oil theft in Nigeria as we speak today? Is that confirmed based on your report? Is that confirmed?
Let me tell you this. I'm not the spokesperson, but I'm telling you, with what I know, I have confidence, full confidence on Mr. President, because I don't want to put just put the information out there like that. No, there are processes of doing things. But I'm telling you, with what I know as of today.
No, you brought it the last time. We saw the information the last time. You brought a chart the last time of all the information.
Yes. But you have to give him opportunity to review it. All this information.
You brought it.
Yes.
So that means you brought it without reviewing it. Or you brought it because there is something you are targeting. And you brought it, you use it to make you to scare these people, to tell them what you are capable of, that you have this, so that you will be, placed in a very good position. Is that the reason why you brought it? They are asking you about the data you had. And it was not now that you had it. This thing you started complaining about it since 2022. Up until now, you are still actually, studying the data. He asked you, did you give it to the president? You are saying that you have a very, very good, you have a positive, you like the president, you trust the president, that you trust the way he is doing things, that he will solve this, conundrum of oil theft. Instead of answering, who are those people in your report or in your data? You are saying there is other channels that you will be able to use to say this, that you have to study the data that you had. For you to know, oil theft in Nigeria is politics. And for you can never solve this politics that is being played with oil in Nigeria. You can never solve it. Knowing that you are dependent on oil as your primary GDP, the same oil is being now, stolen, that you are actually not producing the barrels, the amount of barrels you're supposed to produce that will enable you to thrive. The people who claim they know the criminals, the oil criminals, they are now telling you they have confidence on the president. Did you review? Why don't you show the world the names of these criminals? Even though, of course, the ones that was reviewed in the Dubai that was sponsoring terrorists in Nigeria. It was revealed. Was anything done about it? The answer is no. Now, I want you to know. I want you to understand what's going on here. Let me see if I can get the video. There is a video of the old time in 2022 when this man did the same thing he is doing right now. 2022, when he did the same thing he is doing right now. Let me open the video in 2022. It is about the oil, and I believe it is that time he was being asked in this channel, in this
States, and bring them to court in the United States, where we believe we have a very, very good chance of success.
Okay, thank you.
From Abuja to discuss the oil theft issues in Nigeria is Honorable E.J. Agbonayima.
Of course, in 2022 was the last time you heard about this lady. You hearing her name on Arise News. Is it it is this this lady, is the daughter of this late politician in Yoruba land. So it is the 2022 you'll heard from her last. Listen to this.
Of Conduct Bureau and former House of Representatives member. Good morning, Honorable. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Nigerians. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us. The NUPRC, the commission led by Mr. Komalafe, Benga Komalafe, has asked the Nigerian government to declare a state of emergency in the oil and gas sector as a result of crude oil theft. Only last week, Pengasan, senior staff of the oil and gas sector, organized rallies across the country, and they are threatening to go on strike, having given a 30-day notice if the federal government of Nigeria does not do something about crude oil theft. The Group General Manager of NMPC Limited has also said, look, we're losing so much money, up to about $700 million per day as a result of crude oil theft. So we know what the problem is. What do you think is the solution? A state of emergency or ramping up security surveillance?
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Ruben Abati. For me, I've been on this issue for so many years. We are all Nigerians, and we must be responsible, accountable to our dear nation. And the situation of the crude oil theft in this country is appalling, it's disheartening, and it is unacceptable. I think one of the cardinal point agenda of Mr. President Buhari, is the fight against corruption.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask me, I understand that a lot of people are trying to derail the wheel of progress of Mr. President. Yes, the issue of the oil theft didn't start today or yesterday.
You see how he is all about protecting the agenda of every president that comes into power. He talks about people are trying to derail the the agenda of Mr. President Buhari. The same way he come around now to tell you you should support the present government, that they are doing it right. Instead of telling you who are these oil theft, oil criminals in his, book. In his book, who are those oil criminals? Now he is, instead of now telling you about the oil criminal, he is telling you, he was from the latest information. He was telling you from the latest interview, which happened today or yesterday, today. From the latest information, now he is telling you support president. The same way he did in 2022. Yes, Karagold, Abiola's daughter. It was in 2022, I believe you heard from her, Abiola's daughter, from Arise TV. So the same thing he said, that people are trying to derail the agenda of Buhari to fight oil theft. Now, after preaching for the president, doing everything, did the oil theft stop? The answer is it got worse. It got worse. The same oil theft since that time is the same place where we are still here today. Today he is still telling you now support this president. He has a good tactics to tackle this same problem. Next year, if it is another APC, he will tell you support that person. He will have it all. All a lies. Nigeria, politicians are all liars. They are all deceivers. That is exactly what they are. They will continue to use the same tactics. This is 2022 I'm playing now. The previous one I played was yesterday. It is the same man, one man. Of course, you heard it is about Buhari. One man. Every time speak the same thing. But nothing has changed. Nothing ever changed. For you to understand how they are using your brain. Let us listen more before we call it a day.
Yesterday, it has been ongoing for so many years. At the time, as you were listening to, there's an attorney, a lawyer from the United States, engaged by the federal government, who met well the former president, President Jonathan, and our brother, who saw that the crude oil theft in the Niger Delta, that is Tompolo, he decided to have a good initiative. He approached Mr. Former President and said, look, we must investigate and do a forensic investigation to ascertain the oil theft that is ongoing because they were blaming the militant, the oil bunkering. Yeah, there's oil bunkering, but the most important of is the crude oil, undeclared crude oil that have gone to global destination, taken away by the cabal. So this crude oil theft is something that you and I know is the one that have derailed this country from moving forward. What can we do now? I want to say that those who are saying that they should call for state of emergency, they are not far away from the truth, but I wouldn't say that is the major issue now. It's for us to put in place preventive measure to combat the menace of corruption. Because the crude oil theft that is going through the back door outside this country, where a country that does not even know, the number of production that we do produce daily, the meter that we use, today, you'll be shocked to know. The meter that they use is purchased, calibrated, owned by the multinational company to the detriment to all Nigerians.
Multinational
President
company,
Buhari,
like Shell.
unfortunately, we have not been fair to him. Some of us have not been fair to Nigerians. That the crude oil theft, the circle that have put the serious cabal, they know themselves. And Mr. Abati, you were in government. I'm happy you were in government during the time when you served former President Jonathan. That at the end of the day, they set up, an engagement with a molecular power system. They signed a contract with that company, which of course the company also engaged a United States firm, Lumos, out of Houston, Texas, to track all vessels leaving the soil of Nigeria to global destination. Let me tell you, that will surprise you. What landed the United States alone, 391 million barrels, left this country, undeclared. But unfortunately, when we then called, when I was at the House of Rep, I moved that motion. When we called NAPC, but it will surprise you that the information they gave us was not to write home about. And what the United States Customs gave us, it was mind-boggling that this is Nigeria. And it's so sad that
now
we made this.
are you now understanding the reason why United States have to move a motion or go ahead to congratulate a president that rigged the election? Have you now seen the reason why they moved ahead to congratulate? Because what I tell you, that they are actually benefiting from this, and they are the ones who make provision, who determine who will sit in the position of power, because this oil theft must carry on. If they place somebody who is not their own person into the position of power, that means it might not be good business for them. Have you now seen the reason why they have to continue? They support APC. Let's continue.
It's corruption, and when you fight corruption, corruption fight back at you.
When you fight corruption, corruption fight back at you. Now, the reason why corruption will fight back at you, it is because you dine with corruption. Corruption put you in the position of power. Then why do you think you will still fight the things that put you in the position of power? You can't. It will fight back at you because it has leverage on you. It is this leverage they create on our political leaders that they will always use as a weapon against them. That's why they will tell you, when you fight corruption, corruption fight back at you. You cannot fight corruption in your own country when you are the first citizen, commander-in-chief of armed force. You cannot stop oil theft because you believe if you fight corruption, it fight back at you. Because corruption places you in the position of leadership. That's why it will always fight back at you. Let's continue.
That if he's a president, he's trying his best.
Yes.
For those in the helm of affairs that we should be responsible, should be accountable.
Promotion of the president. Promotion of the president. All his duty is to come and promote the president of APC, which is led and being placed into the position of leadership by the cabals that are doing oil theft in Nigeria. They are the ones who determine who sits in the position of leadership. You people might not understand it, but that is what is going on. You might not agree with me because it is George Money that is saying it. But the real thing is that the cabals of the people who are stealing oil in Nigeria determines who is going to be in the position of leadership in Nigeria. And they have found APC worthy of being the ones they will use to chase their agenda. then people like this will come and be changing the narrative, support this president, support that president. If these people wanted Obi to be in the position of that power, they were going to put Obi in the position of that power. You will still see oil theft will not be, stopped. All you will be seeing is that a vessel was burned ablaze, set ablaze. They will, without even telling you who those people using this vessel, what is the outcome of the investigation? Did they confess? What is exactly what you need to do? Did they do anything? You won't see that case will just disappear. The next thing you will hear, you won't hear about it again. That is exactly what is going on in Nigeria. Nigeria will never stand as a nation because it is not a nation. It is created by Europeans. It was created by the West. And as long as it is the Western creation, they will continue to benefit from Nigeria more than the people who are so-called the owners of Nigeria will benefit. So the only way you can get things right is the disintegration of Nigeria. If you disintegrate Nigeria, it means that you have hope of survival. It means that you have hope of new life. It means that you have hope of freedom. Because right now, the name was given to you. Right now, you are some other people's subject. Right now, they create position, they create presidencies because they know they have to put someone they can control. They have leverage on that president. You will see them tomorrow. If this president rise up now to challenge them head on, they will start talking about Biafra and secession. That's the way it is. If Tinubu want to now US to start talking about Biafra, secession and all that, they should face them head on. Of course, the reason why I am exposing this secret is that if you don't find oil theft to solve the Nigeria, you should understand what I am saying. If you solve oil theft, America will speak the truth about Nigeria. Britain will speak the truth about Nigeria. That is the reason why oil theft can never be solved. They will always talk about it, but it will never ever be solved. Those that are placed to solve it, it is all about fiat money. Bring the money out. Let us squash it. I am speaking the truth. That's why they are reducing your numbers in that Facebook. But that is the way it is. And then I believe we have actually given out the information. It is about politics that Nigeria is playing. For you to understand this politics, I want you to know. Follow up everything that they tell you yesterday, today, tomorrow, and the next day. They will continue to come with the same approach because they don't have a lot in their bag. The same approach at every given season to make sure that they manipulate your mind. Once they manipulate you, they place them, you allow yourself to place them into the position of leadership. Some of you who believe that it is one Nigeria, it is going to grow. Every year you support one person, they go into position of power and the things get worse. You don't know the way those you are supporting, there are people who make that decision, who will sit in that position. If those people does not want you to sit in that position, you will never go there. These people, they are multi-billionaires. They can buy anything. Talk more of buying human being. They can buy everything. Those are the people who say congratulations to people who didn't win the election, because they know that it is their people. It's politics. People are hustling on Nigeria. China is also in to hustle on Nigeria. Nigeria, they continue to select people who will allow these things to happen. Let them fight this oil theft. If they fight oil theft, believe you me, you will see changes. You will see what I am telling you. if they fight this oil theft. If you hear that oil theft is resolved in Nigeria, you will hear people talking about Nigeria being harsh on you. Nigeria being police brutality in Nigeria is too much, and then you will hear people talking about the activities of this army burning buildings in Biafra land. Now we are saying nobody is paying attention. You will start hearing those things from news. Maybe you will start hearing it from CNN, Al Jazeera, BBC. You will start hearing those things. The reason why you cannot hear it, oil is for free. For now, oil is for free. Coming out from Biafra land. All these things, Asare Dokubonagwa, somebody will come and tell you lies. He is lying because he had to protect the masters that placed them in the position of power. These are tomorrow now they will give him, you're going to protect pipeline. You are protecting pipeline against the master that placed you in the position of power. Don't forget, we will still continue to see what you are seeing in the next 4 years. They will continue, the next president will continue to speak the same language. They will speak it very soon. You forget, they forget about it. They will just throw the docket away. That's the end of it. Oil theft continue. Then petrol will be 500 per liter. Diesel will be 1,000 rand per liter. When you 1,000 naira per liter, when you have exactly everything you need. When you have everything you need, and everything you need is quite there in Nigeria to have extra petrol, extra diesel, extra crude oil, natural gas, exportation, to have all these things. You will never, but you will have even exportation that is below the expectation of oil barrel that you're supposed to export. That is plunging the economic growth of the country, which is actually the primary arrow they are using, knowing that you are dependent on crude oil to survive. By the time you will fight oil theft, it will be if you still continue to champion one Nigeria, by the time you will actually start maybe winning on oil theft, it will be the time Europeans are going to now say no more to fossil fuel and this petroleum, crude oil and petroleum cars. They will go for greener energy like electric cars. That time, the use of oil, the demand is going to actually drastically reduce. So they have filled in their reserve very much. They are now migrating towards electric vehicle. So it is not going to actually affect them somehow a lot. So the end of the day, that's when they might leave it for you. Do what you want now. We are done. We are done with you. Because once they want to leave it with you, they have found another way to make that thing useless and worthless in your hands. So the best thing you will do for yourself is to, the vision of Nigeria, let people actually utilize the opportunity and the time they still have, because tomorrow might be too late, so that they will utilize what is within their reach and develop their nation. Let that competition begin. It is very, very important. Like I always say, imagine how the competition is going to be. A Yoruba man is building how to build the best nation in the sub-Saharan region. Biafra man likewise, Hausa man, the same thing. You will be building. Let us actually see who is the problem of this region. Is it Hausa? Is it Yoruba? Is it the Igbo? Because they say we are the problem. Let us go our separate ways. Let us see who is the problem. When we build our nation, whoever succeed, you will see that you've been holding them down. We are holding each other down. It is not like, when you are holding someone down, you are holding yourself. That is exactly what is going on right now. We are holding ourselves down. And for us to solve this problem, we need to disintegrate that creation of those who are in charge of your oil and those who are taking it for free. And you are just crying. And you're crying as if you don't know they put you in power. Until we meet again, stay safe. Don't forget that the politics is starting from the grassroots. Bring the agent provocateur, make him to be in the mainstream media, make him to be the one they will talk about. In case when you release Mr. Kano, when Mr. Kano comes out, this agent provocateur, if he turns his back, it becomes that he is ungrateful. I did everything. I was called a terrorist because of you. Even though you told me to make Biafra land to be calm. That is exactly the psychology of what is happening. But don't forget, that's why we continue to remind you until we meet again. Stay safe. Stay informed.